Welcome again to another episode of the Nigerian Theatre Witnesses to History on the Tunde Laniyan podcast. We have been talking over the last two episodes with a great witness, and our witness is none other than this incredible couch, Chief Akin, who started plying his trade more than 50 years ago. 50 years in the life of any man is a huge number. Yes. Is a huge number. And he has been contributing to the Nigerian theatre, particularly in the field of acting and production. He's been in communication, he's been in sales and marketing, he's been in advertising, he's been in public relations. That's how diverse his talents are. And he had acquitted himself very well in all the fields. He ventured through a federal government scholarship into studying puppetry, acting, and directing because the federal government wanted to create the Nigerian Puppetry Theatre Group. That was to replace the imported puppetry programs that we had on NTA at the time. Unfortunately, that didn't take off. Because by the time they returned from Sofia, Bulgaria, there was no interest shown in having that great dream followed up. So they were not, they tried on their own, particularly with Kenny's. They tried to keep on doing things until it also fizzled out because there wasn't backing for it. And that's a pain for me, Akin, as I welcome you to today's episode of the program.
Thank you.
That's a particular pain for me because one of the things also that I have dreamt about is that we'll convert a lot of our popular storybooks, popular drama books, the Nigerian theatre books, drama books, stories into puppetry, into things that can engage the younger population, and especially the children, and that we are not still doing that 40 years after is a pain. Is a pain. Do you think there's still a way back?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure we can go back to where we left off because even puppetry itself has evolutionized. Now we are having cartoons.
Yes.
We are having movies, a whole feature-length movie. Cartoons.
Yes.
You know, so puppetry itself has gone into tech, high tech.
Cartoon characters have become so famous.
That's it.
So famous.
We can't go back to what we used to have, unless they want to now train people to do cartoons. And all of that. And that's a tough job. That's a tough job.
Cartoons was my own dream. And I was dreaming of all those characters to be transformed and brought to our homes, even for people who didn't read some of those books. I know that those characters will become so important.
Yeah.
Look at Ijapa,
yes, now,
and Yonibu, and all those stories,
and the wildlife.
Yeah, the wildlife, the Ehoro,
Agboin, you know, all of those stuff.
Yeah,
we have content.
Yes, ready for exploitation.
Yes,
ready for exploitation. Well, let me go back to where we left off last week.
Yeah.
Where we left off last week, what's your idea of where we should be taking our productions to now, given the kind of diverse and muscular equipment, versatile equipment that are available for productions now? What do you see in the immediate and perhaps mid-future for the theatre in Nigeria? Particularly in the television and film.
Yes. I think we are entering into an era now of technology.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of importance, a lot of focus on the equipment.
Right.
So even the directors too are getting very technical.
Right.
And the actor has always been the center.
Right.
Up till this time.
Of the trade.
Yes, of the trade. But now, somehow this technology is pushing the actor back. Not entirely, but you know what I mean.
I know.
So as we go into the future now,
and then we are having AI. So I understand.
Yes,
so many things can be made of.
You can imagine
the work of the actor.
And then again, there are lots of platforms now. Streaming platforms.
Yes.
And everybody wants it. But what I just don't like is the fact that they seem to be only interested in our past, our cultural past.
Yes.
That will be bloody.
Yeah.
A lot of juju, battles, fighting, and I'm like, come on.
There are too many things to do.
Yes.
Beyond
that. We are. Come on. But you see, because they have the big money,
right.
they are sponsoring
the show.
And those projects must have a lot of blood, rape, fighting, and juju, what have you, and all that stuff,
Right.
And those are really the big projects.
Yes.
The others, where you can call the shot or do your own thing, are smaller projects.
Right.
But everybody is now pursuing. Because that's where the big money really is.
Right.
Yeah, that's where the big money really
is.
So everybody is.
And that's where the attraction will be.
That's it. So that's what I
So
see.
how do we control that? That is, control the direction in which our art is moving.
Yeah.
Because it's what people see that will continue to control what people expect, what people think of your culture, what people think of your traditions, what people think of where you are going next.
Yes. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of hard work to do that. We don't even have the institutions that can help us.
Like?
These associations, that can really, that is strong enough to have a voice and then say, no, this
strong
is
enough to have a voice.
Yeah. But
it's not just having the platform, just that they are strong enough.
Absolutely. To have a voice, take decisions, and help people move forward. We don't have that, man. There are associations around.
Right.
And they are trying, they are doing what they feel
they can do.
Yeah, but
they don't have the muscle.
That's right.
And that muscle is finance.
A
lot of the time.
A lot, and they need to be chartered too.
Yeah.
They need to be chartered, and that way they can come up with policies and things to help us. I don't know, but that's what I see. That's how I see it. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe theater again will come back, but only for the few, the minority who really love theater. Theater is no longer for the masses.
Unfortunately.
It's for the few, yeah, because they can't even afford the gate.
That's it.
They can't afford the gate.
Yeah.
So
I wonder, because I look back at the way we started, the traveling theater groups. They went into various towns.
That's right, the market squares.
They performed in town halls.
Yes.
They performed in schools. And that was where they were known.
Yes.
And that was the kind of thing I also tried to do with the theater thing that we used in aiding the fight against HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
We performed mostly in markets and marketplaces and garages, the motor parks.
Yeah.
The number of performances we had in theaters or halls were few, maybe about 3 or 4 out of almost 30 performances. Because that was how the Nigerian and African theatre evolved.
Yeah.
And we cannot leave out the people.
No, we can't.
When you want to talk about the theatre.
Yeah. That reminds me of the guerrilla theatre.
Yes. Yes. You had that in Ife.
Yeah, we had that. It was great.
Mm.
It was great. And today, I don't know. Maybe some brands, products.
Mm-hmm.
If they have money, and they have money, and they want to the experiential marketing.
Yes.
Then, but to just have full-fledged theatre.
What the problem that I see again, just as you mentioned it, is that before a lot of those products will put their money into performance.
Yes.
We don't see that anymore.
No, we don't. We don't.
I think the people in the offices don't see the connection, the nexus between their products and what is going on.
They've been disappointed a lot. At one time people were diverting their monies and all that, and then again there are other experiential ways to get their products into the market,
into the
face of the people now than theatre, which are even not as expensive.
Yes.
So that's why you see them.
Because I remember that around 1993 or something, I was doing a project and I'd approached 95, 96. I'd approached the NBL. And whereas the chairman and the MD was interested, the marketing director said, no, but we're already advertising these things in those places. So why do we need to spend money branding this thing? Who must have that keen interest in using the theatre as a tool for their work, for marketing, for sales, for branding.
Yes.
More than we are having now.
Yeah. No, again, one of the biggest problems they have now is that the economy has nosedived.
That's right.
And these companies, once that happens, the first budget they cut is advertising. They cut it down because there's no way. Now they have a lot of products out there in the market. Who is buying? Who is buying?
That's right.
And if people don't buy, the money doesn't get into their pocket, they can't really do anything. So again, that's a big problem.
Right.
But once the economy goes back up, you see that there will be a lot of money to do so many things.
So what we are saying is that apart from security, economic decisions are made that cannot encourage investment in the theatre as one expects. And we'll continue to pray and urge those in authority to help improve the security situation, because part of what happened in the early 80s was that the Nigerian economy nosedived and people were not going to the theatres anymore. Unlike when you had regular things coming up at the National Theatre, the Muson, the Badon, not much was happening anymore. Now, let's go back to core theatre. Talk to me about some of the films that you've done.
Well, I've done a lot. Somebody was asking me the other day, how many films have you done? Honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Unless I sit and begin to count. And
just recollect the ones that
the one that are, okay, we've mentioned Madame Diarist.
Yes.
I know that
Blaze of Glory. Blaze of Glory, we mentioned that.
That. Then there is, I've done a couple of series that were hot and they are still running all over the place.
Okay.
Brethren.
Yes.
Jeremy G.
Okay.
Which one again? Okay, I can remember some feature movies.
Okay.
Like Wiriala Shaw. I also do Yoruba movies.
You do?
Yeah, Wiriala Shaw.
You've been what they would call crossover.
Oh, yes. I was the first legitimate crossover.
Oh, really?
Yes, from English to Yoruba.
That's right.
Yes, and that opened up the way for
who
also can do that.
Who can do that?
Yes. and Your
Which
Excellency.
film did you do the crossover?
This is Madame Diarra.
Madame Diarra.
That's what I started with.
That's right.
And it changed the subsector, the Yoruba
Subsector.
It changed, completely changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now we have it. And now we are gone. You know. I mentioned Your Excellency.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's a good one too.
Yes.
Nice one. I've done. There is Ashiria Day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still cooking.
Right.
There is also the Benefactor.
The Benefactor.
Yes, a big one, cooking. You know, I mean, we've done it. They're just
putting the finishing
touches. You know, and really several others.
Okay.
Several others.
We mentioned Niji.
Yes.
And Benson.
Yes.
Are some of the directors that you've enjoyed working with.
Yes.
Which actors and actresses have you enjoyed being in the same productions with?
Well, I must say very quickly that they will be those will be actors from the old school. Because you know it's going to be give and take. They know exactly what to do and what.
Yes.
You know, the younger ones, most of them, where I personally help.
Right.
You know, I have to come down to help them.
Yeah.
And I say to them that if you don't stand up, I will leave you behind. And there are scenes that belong to other actors, but because they are not powerful enough, they get stolen from them.
Yeah.
You know, but all of those old time, I mean, Joker, Silver, you know, we've done quite a lot of work together.
Right.
Great jobs.
Right. I remember that we were in Joker's play, an adaptation of Merchant of Venice.
That's right. Stage too.
Yes.
Stage.
It was stage, yes. It was stage. It was perhaps it was perhaps the last stage that I did. That was
really?
2004.
Yeah, wow. That's a long time back.
That we did at the
is it Muson?
Muson and the one at the theater inside the island in Lagos.
Oh yes, Global
Memorial Hall. Yeah. They did in those two places.
Yes.
Dr. Sumbo Mario was the technical director for that.
He has also passed, I hear.
It's passed.
Wow.
It's passed too. It passed. You know something. I think that those old school people may be able to influence a couple of things. I'm just thinking in terms of the kind of experience that they are carrying, the kind of influence that they have. Because I thought the Bank of Industry was supposed to be financing some of the projects. How did that go?
I don't think they're doing that again.
They are not.
No, they are not. I think they also stopped. You know, for all the reasons we've mentioned. Yes. Now everybody is focusing on films, the big screen.
Right.
That's what they're focusing on, and it's got to be cultural. You know, it's got to be
something that they can market abroad, and this is Nigerian.
That you know, very typically Nigerian and all that stuff. And I say, well, okay, good. We'll keep doing that, but for how long? We also still need contemporary.
Contemporary is important.
It's very important.
Particularly if we want to have the younger generation interested in the theater, in that field, and the things are relevant to them.
Yes.
I think we need to do. I think Mo Abudu is doing.
Mo is a very versatile producer.
I think she's doing some of that.
Yes, she produced Your Excellency.
Yeah.
She did. And she has actually produced a lot of contemporary movies.
Yes.
You know,
she's doing quite a lot of that.
Yes, she has. And hey, well, I hope she keeps doing it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I know that Tunji Adeshina died.
Yes.
He also was a Lagelu.
Yes, absolutely.
Olumide Bakri had passed.
Yes.
Who among the Odu Themes people do you still see in the theater? doing things.
Other than Prof.
Mm.
Well, it's a whole new set now.
Right.
It's a whole new set now.
Right.
Nobody from our era.
Mm.
No.
Mm.
But Prof is still doing it.
It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there.
Which is good.
Unfortunately, I've not been able to interview him, but
Okay.
we'll be bringing him on
Yes.
this platform because
good.
he's also somebody who has put in a lot.
Yes.
And had a plan for lifting the theatre through his effort.
Yes.
That's not been sufficiently successful, but it's not stopped.
Yes.
And that's what is important.
Well, if you say successful, maybe in terms of has it made a lot of money? I don't think so.
No, I'm talking, we're talking in terms of the influence, the kind of height that we expect. It's not that it's not producing, but it's when people are also benefiting
from the
economically and whatever from all those efforts that it will then be considered without equivocation that it's been successful. Of course, his plays have been successful, but that's why I was referring to the old brigade and how we can still influence the corporate world, government and other patrons to continue to put in things into the theatre so that, because it's an important area of our lives. I went to watch a film in England and I was happy. It reminded me of what we did in those years, in the 60s, 70s. Not different, except also that, of course, the theatres were properly resourced. You had the microphones, you had the lights, you had the effects and things, and I was excited. So I want to see more of that on the Nigerian stage. Thank you for what you have been doing. Thank you for the fact that you didn't stop, even when others seemed to have lost steam. People like us.
We are still in there.
Unfortunately for me, those who used to influence my not forgetting that I must go back and pass. Ayoluwa Somi, Ayo Akinwale, they were the ones who always put pressure on me. Today, how can you not be doing things? And I was okay, don't worry. Next one, just let me know. Go back. Maybe I should put some pressure on myself and go back and do some things. So, as you step back, do you have any of your children who is in the theatre, who is interested in the theatre?
Yeah, I have. The thing for me is that.
Do you have any objection to their being?
No.
Okay.
If I have be whatever you want to be.
That's right.
That's I just let them. But I have a little one that is man, the talent she has. I'm telling you, if she watches a film with you, she will dissect it, analyze it. I used to tell her, we are watching the film. Please.
Together. We are watching.
Yes, that's right. Don't tell me. So if she wants to help. Right. I used to say to them that, see, any one of you who wants to, I'll bring you in at the top.
Yes, because you have the leverage.
Yes, so. But it's up to them, really. It's up to them.
We want to thank you. You've been a great witness to our audience and to us. You have leveraged for us your experience, your involvement, your participation. My final question, on an African continent perspective, we had the Festival of Arts and Culture, which was an African thing. It's no more there. Is it no more important?
It's important. But the truth again is that it's all about money.
Mm.
If you remember at that time, we were the ones that sponsored this thing.
Yeah.
We put the money down, everybody just came and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So let somebody else stand up to it.
But there was the first one in Dakar, Senegal.
Yeah, but it was nothing compared to what we did.
No, not at all.
And that became the new standard. We set such a standard.
That's what I wanted to ask. Are we frightened of
ourselves, maybe? It's difficult now that our economy is face down. I don't know if any government wants to
spend
I don't think. If they're there, the very masses for which it will be for will go against them. They will kick.
Because the way Nigeria did it, and it's good, because we can be unappreciative of whatever was done, but the truth is that it left the Festac village, Festac town now.
It did.
It left the National Theatre.
Yes.
It left part of the cultural center in Ibadan, which was not totally finished.
Yes.
So there were offshoots of what happened at the time.
Yes.
And that's also the way the Olympic Games have been done.
Yes.
They will spend a lot of money, but the infrastructure. In fact, it left the Games Village in Kaduna, I remember that.
Yes.
Which they call the Barnawa housing.
Okay.
It was also used as part of the Festival of Arts and Culture. So those things have their uses.
Yes.
You can spend big money, but they produce also big results.
And then you have to be focused. I'm sorry, but those other governments that you are talking about, they are very focused.
Yeah.
And they do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it's not as if they don't have their shortcomings.
Yeah.
But 70-80% of the time they get these things done for the community. But here it's the reverse.
Yeah.
Money.
That's why people are unhappy
with things disappear. There's no focus, there's no follow-up, there's no feedback.
And there's no accountability. Nobody is held responsible
because nobody is
for not delivering.
Nobody's getting
promises
for misbehaving.
So
in fact, what I hear now is very scary. So people will in our palace chop 1 billion and then use 30 percent of that to settle
and be free.
And then they will still go away with 70.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And
that's very, very. We hope that more Nigerians will get involved and demand that it is their right to have a vibrant theatre. It is their right, because the picture was created for a long time that theatre was for never-do-wells. That it was not anything, just like your dad thought, I don't want my son to go into theatre, it's better for him to go into the band.
I have disproved that.
So, it's not true. In fact, like they also said, theatre trains you to be very, very focused, hardworking, and to be result-oriented. And the witness here has showed us how he was totally committed to theatre, the theatre training, and the results that he got from there have been as a result of hard work, focus, and using what he learned in plying his trade and making sure that the audience got the full value that he had promised in terms of who he is. I want to thank you, Chief Akin Louis. I've known Akin now for roughly 56 years that I've known Akin. That we've been friends, and I want to thank you that you have kept the flag flying, and I believe that when we want to do other projects, dive more into the Nigerian theatre, will be willing to be a witness as you have been. Again, we've had this giant witness who has given us his time over the last 3 weeks and who has given us a clarity on some of the things we need to rethink and the steps we need to take in going forward so that we can enjoy the Nigerian theatre more in its various dimensions. If you've liked the program, please click the like button. Share the program with other people who also like this witness and like the program, and let us all together continue to push forward the Nigerian theatre. So it's been the Tunde Laniyan podcast with the Nigerian theatre Witnesses to History. If you have comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you have questions, leave them there too. And until we come again your way in the next episode of the Nigerian Theatre Witnesses to History, it's bye from me.